In today's interview, we'll talk to Joakim Nydemark, CEO of Crunchfish Gesture Interaction. Welcome to this interview, Joakim.
Thank you very much.
So could you start off by telling us what is gesture control and how does it work?
Yeah, gesture control is about controlling electronic devices using your hand. And you can do that from a distance, and it can even be your body. Usually we talk about the gestures in different sort of categories. We have a pose gesture, and that is basically when you hold up your hand, and that could be like a thumbs up, for instance. And that thumbs up is then detected by the system. And that can then trigger some sort of event in the device. The second one is a little more advanced, and that is when we put like a tracker on the hand. So the system still detects the hand, and then there is one point of the hand that is tracked when you move it around. And you can look at that as how you use a computer. So you have a mouse to your computer, and you have a mouse pointer on the screen. And when you move around the mouse or the hand, the mouse pointer moves, and then you can make it a pose to trigger an event. And then we have the third one, which is the most advanced, and this is about doing a lot of points on your hand that is tracked, actually in 3 dimensions as well. So each tip and each joint of your hand have a point, and each of these points are then tracked in 3 dimensions. And that is what we call a skeleton model. So to make this system work, basically what you need is a camera sensor, and there are a number of different camera sensors, but some sort of camera sensor is needed. You need some sort of computing hardware, and that could be a mobile phone or some sort of wearable. And then it's all combined together with our software, and it creates sort of the full product. And that could be AR glasses, it could be some sort of VR device, it could be in a car or mobile phone or a public screen on town.
During 2021, huge progress has been made with the technology. Could you explain the evolution of your technology platform?
I'm so proud about our technical team and what they have achieved. I mean, if I look back like 10 years, we were in a situation where we had like a first generation of our technology. We called that a selfie product, and it was used mainly for triggering photos in mobile phones. Then since I would say 2015, our focus has been more towards wearables, augmented and virtual reality. And I think what we have built there over the years is a number of generations of the product. Then something special happened here like a year ago when we managed to get sort of the XR skeleton to the market. So with XR skeleton, we came with a product that sort of changed how you create sort of this kind of interaction in systems. So it's not only about sort of how you do it and how you create the algorithm. It's the whole process. And we have found out that this is basically a platform where you can combine this, what we call this neural networks, which is the base of this technology, in a variety of places and contexts. And this opens up a lot of new things. So what has also changed here is that we have moved from image analysis, which is like a more basic method of doing like gestures, to a full 100% neural network based system. And this really opens up sort of a new ways to work with this technology.
So, but the skeleton technology, is it only applicable for hands, or are there other application areas as well?
So it can definitely be applied in other areas as well, and that is the beauty. So it's for sure hands, but we have managed to take the same neural nets and use that for instance, a full body. And we have combined it with different kind of sensors, and all of this is something that has happened during the last year, when we have been able to create a number of new solutions based on this fundament of neural nets. And again, that includes for sure hands and body, but also combinations of hands and body that could be used in certain use cases.
What would you say makes Crunchfish stand out compared to competing solutions?
I think that gesture control is about finding sort of the balance between performance, accuracy, and processing power needed to run the system. And since we're working with neural nets, which is the fundament of our technology, these neural nets come in different sizes. So to do a solution for gesture control with a huge neural net is somewhat a little easier. But what we are doing is that we're doing this with very small networks. And with small networks, we can run in very limited hardware and use less processing power. And still, we will get sort of a good performance and accuracy. And that is something that I think really makes our solution stand out compared to competing solutions. It's all about also the process of building this kind of solutions. So having the neural net and the size of that is one thing, but we also have control of the whole system. So I know that competitor of ours, they use maybe already accessible data from internet to train their system. We build our training data from scratch. We combine real data with synthetic data, and synthetic data is basically when we can take a hand and then we can, with a computer, we can change the direction, we can move the hand around, but more importantly, we can then train this system with different light condition, different shadowing, different backgrounds, lights, everything. And this gives real power to the methodology, but also it opens up for us to create this not only flexible solution, but also extremely well working solution.
The versatility of your technology opens up more use cases and business opportunities. Why is that?
Again, it's to look at use cases and looking at what kind of solutions that is needed. I would say that each of these use cases are somewhat special. And being able to adapt to these specific solutions is what is needed to comply with sort of this whole system. And I think our ability to do that is really big. So if you look at a few different use cases, we can look at, for instance, the augmented reality use case. There you have a number of different types of glasses. You may have one RGB sensor, which is a standard camera sensor. In some cases, you have like two sensors that is separated in the glasses. You may want to have two hands interaction. If you look at in a car environment, for instance, the automotive, sometimes you use infrared due to sort of the light condition in a car. So then we need to have support for infrared sensors, and all of that currently is something we can adapt to, and that I think creates a huge strength for us.
And is there a specific target use case for this technology?
Yeah, so we have three target use cases that we have pinpointed. There are a number of others as well, but to bring some focus to this. So as mentioned earlier, we have since 2015, we had the augmented virtual reality as one, and that is still valid. I think what we have seen is that the hardware, the products is evolving, but it's not really there to become a consumer product, but we will get there. So the augmented virtual reality is definitely one. Another is automotive. So there is a lot of things happening in the automotive industry at the moment, which is really exciting, where we can see a need and requirements for gesture control for a couple of things. One thing is the infotainment systems. You have screens in the car, you have in the front seat, you have in the back seat, and by interacting with your hands, it makes things more convenient, and in the back seat even a necessity. If you're maybe it's a bigger car, you have children, they are not able to reach the screen, gesture control could be sort of the only way to interact with those screens. So interaction with screens is one. The second, maybe even more exciting, is for safety. So there is a lot of things regulation-wise that is coming now in the automotive industry that put requirements on what is needed for a new car to be produced and from a safety perspective. And that includes what we call driver monitoring system and occupant monitoring system. Basically that there will be camera sensors that keeps track on if the driver is sleepy, if the driver maybe is holding a mobile phone in the hand, if there are passengers in the car, if there are children in the car, if there are animals, dogs, cats in the car. All of these different parameters will have an effect on the safety of the car, and something that then via AI algorithm can indicate for the driver that pay attention, something is not good. So that is the second. And the third one is public screens. Public screens is something that has started to be more in focus due to the pandemic, actually, where we see that people are not very willing to touch screens, public screens. So to do that with gestures instead makes a lot of sense.
You recently received your 12th gesture patent. Could you tell us more about your patent strategy and what the latest patent protects?
Yeah, we have over the years been really active in filing patents for innovations that we feel would make a difference and would protect our technology. And this is our 12th. We have been, I would say, have had a very good hit rate on application. We have a very professional partner here in Ström Gulliksson that is helping out with filing those. And this 12 is actually really exciting and could be a big thing for us. It's related to putting in a PIN code and or a password in a device, typically a wearable device. And what we protect with this patent is that you are able to scramble the numbers or the letters when you type sort of the PIN code. So the thing is that if you have like a wearable pair of glasses, if you then type your PIN code in the air like this, people around you will be able to see basically where you put your numbers in. But if you then can rearrange the numbers, you will still have the same code, but you rearrange the numbers and you will have a different pattern every time you put in your PIN. And that will create more secure system and protect sort of the PIN code in these devices. So we're very excited about this. The patent is valid another 10 years. And since the market for augmented virtual reality is about to happen, this could be an important patent for us.
Has the pandemic had any major impact on your business, and in which ways?
So I wouldn't say major impact, but of course we have had some impact. I mean, we have not been able to travel and visiting customers. Not being able to travel and meet people tends to delay things. So you're not able to build sort of the relationships. You're not able to as quickly as when you meet. You're not able to go there and push things, the final steps in a negotiation or what have you. So from that side, we have seen that things tend to take a little longer than before. On the other hand, the access to top management has been easier to get because they are home, they have more time to get into meetings. So we have been able to have a lot of good video meetings with top management in a number of companies, which has been an advantage. Also, the fact that I mentioned just earlier here that not touching displays due to the pandemic is driving sort of new opportunities for us business-wise. So that has actually also been good.
Gesture control isn't Crunchfish's only business area. Could you say a few words about the other business areas?
Yeah, so our other business area is digital cash, and that is an extremely exciting area. It is the future of payments, and if you look at paying with cash, if you have cash today, you can use that anywhere. You're not dependent on anything but having money in your wallet. If you use payment with a digital system today, it most often works, but not always. And if we are moving towards a world without cash, you need to have something that works all the time. And what we have created is a solution that we call digital cash, and that enables us to make digital payments every time. So we have two main tracks on that. So we have the digital cash online, and that enables payments even though the core banking system is down or offline. And we have a system that we call digital cash offline that enables payments even if you are as a payer is offline. So if you don't have any internet access, if you don't have sort of access to a specific server, it doesn't matter. You can still make your payment with this technology. And how we do this is that we divide sort of the process in 3 steps. So we reserve money, we make payments, and then we settle. So 3 steps: reserve, pay, settle. And by doing that, we create an extremely robust system that enables payment every time.
And is this for mobiles only, or what are the form factors for using this technology?
Yeah, so this is the beauty with this technology as well, that it works in any form factor. It can be mobile phones, it could be cards, it could be, anything. And it can be applied in any context, which is also a strength and something that we're really proud of.
Lastly, customers and partners are important for the business to grow. Could you elaborate on the current business situation and market?
Yeah, so as mentioned before, we have a couple of different main targets for our business. And if we look at the strategy as such, it's to work with customers and partners. So we will continue to do business directly with certain customers, specifically in the consumer electronics industry. We have since before relationship with a number of them, where Lenovo, Oppo are a few of them. So that will continue. And then we will work with partners, and that is for other use cases or other sort of situation for our solution. And another example could be usage. Usage is an AR company in the US, and they provide AR glasses and smart glasses. They sell to companies that use their glasses together with specific applications in specific use cases like logistics, for instance, where you can have that at warehouses. And in those cases, we have a relationship with Vuzix, but we license this technology to their customers. So in that situation, Vuzix is a partner. And looking at then where we are business-wise, so we continue to work with these. We have the target areas, which is the augmented and virtual reality, and we have the public screens and automotive. And we will continue to address these, but to make this business really take off, I think looking at augmented and virtual reality, these hardware need to be like a consumer product. And we are getting there. So Meta, or previous Facebook, was launching a pair of smart glasses now pretty recently. Really neat, had the Ray-Ban form factor, cameras, you can make phone calls, record video, take pictures and so on. But it's not really augmented reality. So I think the form factor is right. The product has its advantages, and I think the next generation of those kind of products will have a display, and then it will become sort of an augmented reality product that I think will make a lot of sense for people and definitely our technology, since you will then use your hands for the interaction and menu system and stuff. The other one is in the car industry, and this is really exciting because, as mentioned, there are a lot of things ongoing in the car industry right now, and there are regulations coming from EU, US, several places in Asia that will put requirements on the car manufacturers to put in this kind of technology in their vehicles. And currently we are addressing car manufacturers, but also the tier 1s and tier 2s, which is the companies like Bosch and others that provide sort of solutions to the car manufacturers, and to include our gestures in that kind of context will be a requirement from these companies. So I would say there is a lot of things ongoing. I think we sometimes say to ourselves that we don't realize how early we were with this kind of technology. I mean, we have been doing gesture control for 10 years, but now we are so close to making sort of these very, very nice use cases where not only gesture control will be like nice to have, it will be a need to have, and that will definitely drive sort of our business here moving forward.
Okay. Thank you for the interview, Joakim, and best of luck with the gesture interaction business.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.